They're one-star bakeries, so I want to challenge them in the best ways. So I ended up finding these topsy-turvy wedding cakes. So elegant. Like, I've seen topsy-turvy cakes. They've all been like birthday cakes and circus cakes. This cake has captured my heart. I think it's so cool. Let's talk about the square edges. When you think of a round cake, you have that top edge that you want to be nice and crisp. With a square cake, you have every single edge that you want to be nice and crisp. So I'm definitely going to be looking for that. That is a challenge. Then you've got the color. This is not white, but it's this soft kind of dreamy pink. But then you also have these marbles of pinks and blues and purples. There's so many different colors going on, and it's just stunning. And the topsy-turvy of it, I need to see the topsy-turvy of it. I don't want that to be covered up by a mountain of flowers, because there's a lot of flowers, but you can still see the topsy-turviness of this cake. And the flowers. I want to see beautiful flowers, and they should look like this. It's even on a nice cake board. It's all about the presentation, right? I'm paying a lot for these cakes. I sent them this image. This is what I want. Expectations set. But let's see why they're rated a one-star bakery to begin with. Let's read some reviews here. A beer says that though the cake looked beautiful, it tasted horrible. Oh God. The cake had a chemical aftertaste, and the frosting was very thin layer with undissolved sugar. Ew. This cake is almost inedible. We're not off to a good start. All right, Richard thinks that he went to buy some cupcakes and then no one was in the store. The sign said that it was open. The door was open. Called the back a few times and even looked in the back. I waited a reasonable 5 to 6 minutes and then left. All right, I had a terrible experience with this place. I ordered my daughter's wedding cake, a double-layered sheet cake, and asked for light, fluffy icing. Double-layered, that was only a year ago. I'm like, a double-layered sheet cake for a wedding? Came with a 3/4 inch of fondant on it, not light and fluffy icing at all.
I told them that the bride would not even have a piece due to the icing. They didn't even offer a partial refund, even though most of the cake went in the garbage. Do not go here.
Kristen says that if I could, I would give them 0 stars. Absolutely awful service. Tried to book an appointment to order a wedding cake, and I was laughed at on the phone by our choice of Saturday. I will definitely be going elsewhere now and will highly recommend others do the same. It's one thing to say that you can't fit someone in for an appointment, but people shouldn't be belittled for picking a day that won't work for the bakery.
Laughed at for picking for the choice of Saturday? You want the 3rd Saturday of the month?
But I'm wondering if they called on like a Friday and were like, I would like a cake for Saturday. And they're like, okay, like it's a custom cake order. I don't know about that one. Well, we really have a mix of things. Like, let's go get the cake, right?
He looks dead.
Archie. Hi, baby. Do you want to go for a car ride? Oh, you do? You do, Scruffy boy? Yeah, let's go.
Hopefully there's enough room here, Archie. You gonna sniff that cake when it comes in?
Don't forget to record. Oh my God, I can see him like through the, oh my God, he needs help with the door. Hey, I'm not looking. I'm not looking. You good?
Yep. It's too big. They were very concerned about me getting this in. They're like, where's your vehicle? How far down is it? Do you have someone here with you? Where are you going with this? What's the occasion?
Wait, what did you say for what's the occasion?
It's a fun little get together.
With my wife and our dog. I keep like bouncing around the truck, almost ran into someone. I was like, sorry. He's like, it's okay. I can't figure out how much I paid for this cake. I only paid $143. I think I just paid a deposit. So what did you pay?
I paid $523.
So it was $143 plus $523. So, math.
Okay, going to get the other cake, and now there is a big truck parking right beside me where I'm supposed to put this cake. So that should be fun, trying to get the cake into the door without dropping it all over myself. Hello, I'm picking up a cake for Lori. Smile like mischievous. Not sure what that was about. Why do I need help?
It's a kind of a funny cake.
It's like topsy-turvy, yeah. I should be able to fit it. How big is the cake? Yeah, I think I can manage that. I think that'll be okay.
Come on, H, this way.
Let's go.
Come on, let's go.
Come on.
You want to go inside? He was like, but I'm not done with the car ride. Get out of the car. Good boy. Good boy. I just called to confirm the price. What I called, he sounded terrified. I don't know what it was like in store, but he was so scared on the phone. He said that the cake itself was $5.75 and he charged me $91 for the flowers, but he's like, but I didn't use all the flowers. $91 seems expensive for silk flowers, even craft flowers. What was it like in store?
It was similar. They were a little bit nervous. Maybe it was just a bigger cake than they're used to doing and they felt bad about charging that much for flowers. I'm not really sure, but they were good. They were really friendly and considerate and kind about everything. They were worried about us getting the cake out okay. And
Ordering the cake, not a good experience, but picking up the cake, good.
Yeah, it was good customer service.
Let's see what it looks like. I can look? Did you go?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, it's gigantic.
It's very heavy.
Let me spin it around. Holy crap. This is insane. This is like, wow. I'm surprised that it's fondant. Sometimes there's like just certain little like aspects of cakes that like I hyper fixate on and I can't get past. And right now that like snake skin almost texture, like you can really see it really badly on here. And it's glaring on the light. I thought it was gonna be buttercream because he said it was buttercream, but fondant's actually more expensive to do. So let's pull up.
You got an itchy back? Poor little short arms can't reach back there.
He really can't. I'm just like.
You're not even reaching your back.
Yeah, I remember I was at a water park and two little girls came up to me. They're like, oh, we love your channel. Yeah, you always laugh because you have the tiny arms. I'm like, they are tiny. And we stood like back to back, like on the same wall, and we all put our arms out, and their arms are longer than mine, and they're 10 years old. And they thought it was the funniest thing in the world. They're like, look at your tiny arms.
It's funny to me too. You can't reach things, you can't scratch your back.
Okay. Inspiration photo. I would say this, you can see a little bit more of the topsy-turvy than the actual cake.
Did they fill this one in with flowers a little too much?
A little too much, but the colors are pretty good. I think they went a little too pink. Like this is almost like a nude pink and this is almost a baby pink. So I think the color variation, I think they nailed that. Like I am so impressed right now. One Star Bakery, like way to go. And the flowers are beautiful. They nailed the colors of the flowers. But there are some things that I'm noticing because I shop for flowers so frequently. And I just did a $50 wedding cake challenge where I bought flowers both at the craft store and the dollar store. I'm seeing dollar store flowers on here. Maybe I'm wrong, but these flowers here, these ones look just like the ones that I used from the dollar store cake. And I think these carnations here, they like remind me of ones that I saw at the dollar store like last week. These leaves also remind me of dollar store leaves. Like this looks a lot nicer than this big guy here. So I feel like there's a mix of dollar store flowers and craft store flowers, which you can get away with, which is what I did in my other video. I got away with. It's just interesting that it was $91 for flowers. But I feel like they felt really guilty about the flowers. I don't think they would have taken advantage or something in that way. It's really interesting how they did the coloring. So it looks like they covered it in pink fondant and then they just did coloring with, which I don't know why they did luster dust. Can you see the shimmer and the sparkle? Like they went luster dusty on this. There's one dust color that they just went nuts with. But I like the coloring that they did to match the cake. It looks beautiful. And like they even have these little like petally buttercream smears and that looks beautiful. The square edges aren't bad. Like this one here actually looks pretty square. But then when you look on the other side, you can see a big seam there, which I don't love. But then this one is very rounded. But there is something that's really glaring right now. So they told me for this price of the cake, they were only gonna do the bottom tier out of cake. That would be too hard to do the topsy-turvy out of cake. So all I'm paying for in cake is just this bottom layer. These two are styrofoam, but you can see the styrofoam. Like they tried to hide it from the flowers, but like they really should have put a panel of fondant to hide that styrofoam edge. It's a little glaring. But this cake is a centerpiece. It doesn't matter how I spin it, what angle you're looking at, every angle looks like it could be the front of the cake, and I think like, good job, like amazing. I'm not as impressed with the double cake board. I don't know what's going on with that, and that they're silver. it takes away from it. Again, let's look at the picture of what we ordered. You can see when you're on, like even if they covered this in like a wood colored fondant or just did a white cake board, that would have taken away so much less from the cake. I hold a grudge against people using silver cake boards because they just stand out so much. Use white, use black, use something neutral so that's not glaring. But I'm impressed.
All right, so what rating would you give this cake, Lori?
Like a star rating?
Yeah, give it a star rating.
That's hard because I feel like, I'm like, oh my God, this is like a 4-star. It's so amazing. But if I actually look at the picture, I feel like I'm giving them a 4-star because they were rated a 1-star bakery and I'm really impressed because they're 1-star bakery. But I think I was ordering from a 5-star bakery and my expectations were a bit higher. At that point, you would be paying $1,500 plus, I think, for this cake. So I think for $666, considering what they gave me, 4 stars. Let's see how it tastes at the end. Oh my goodness, Archie! Archie's very excited about today's sponsor because they sent us some of their lightly air-dried dog food. Now, everyone loves Archie, but there's something that you might not know about him. I think he might actually win the title for the world's pickiest puppy. No joke, he would rather not eat at all than eat something that he doesn't like or that he's bored of. We have literally tried everything and have gone through half a dozen different dry foods and even tried to like gussy them up with all sorts of toppers. And when he got tired of those, we switched to fresh foods, which was costing us the equivalent of a car payment every month. And they all kind of just upset his stomach. I still have a freezer full of food that he won't touch, which I always hated the inconvenience of. We love to go on road trips, but imagine needing to take a few weeks of frozen food on the road with you. It is not fun. Now, Sundays found the perfect balance between fresh and dried. And it has the ease and convenience of dried food, but it has all the nutrition and benefits of fresh food. It is scary how unregulated pet food is and what they can get away with putting in there that can really hurt your fur baby. But you can rest easy knowing that Sundays is veterinarian founded. They stay clear of all of the fillers and synthetics and instead focus on a complete nutrient profile full of quality ingredients. It's amazing that he thinks this is a treat and that he wants me to hand it to him. So he's like, do I really get it all? Yeah, I can confirm, in fact, it is picky eater approved. It's good stuff. Go to sundaysfordogs.com/icing or use code ICING at checkout to get 50% off your first order of Sundays. That's a good boy. Yeah. Gobble, gobble. Second bakery, let's look at the reviews. So Fernando said that we bought a wedding cake from here with delivery to the venue. Unfortunately, they completely forgot about our cake. Just minutes before our grand entrance into the reception, I was calling to find out where the cake was and it never arrived at the time that it was stated. Not only that, the decorations on the cake were made wrong. I also asked to have a small picture printed onto the decoration of my favorite soccer team logo. This is a wedding cake? And they put it upside down. Total disrespect.
You don't want to disrespect the soccer team.
I will not recommend, but it gets better. Okay, so the bakery replied to this. Hi, Fernando. Sorry, we are not your wedding.
The bakery replied?
They replied, you confused with other company. Please remove this review. For your information, we never forget about anyone's wedding cakes. Please deal with your bakery and please remove this review.
Wow.
But there's more. There's more.
Did he reply?
Fernando replied.
No.
It said, response, you are 100% wedding cake supplier, and I will post the contract here once I'm home unless you want me to come to the shop with the contract in hand.
Ooh.
Ooh. But then that's where the story ends. We'll never
know.
find, I don't know.
Maybe we should call.
Sam says this is a hopeless place not to be considered a bakery. Harvinder said, I purchased a cake from this shop for the first time. I don't know why they put sugar on cake. On cake. The cake was I recommend you guys not cake from this shop. You will regret it. And the bakery responded saying, in fact, our cakes have less sugar and more sponges. Okay, I feel like that concludes our 1-star reading. It seems like they're a hot mess. We're getting a little bit of this, that, and everything from the price to the taste to the flavor to the designs, the customer service.
Disrespecting soccer team.
Disrespecting soccer teams. You coming in?
Yeah.
Give me a sec. It smells really sweet. Like just smell sugar.
No, they use less sugar, they said.
All I smell is sugar.
More sponge, less sugar. All right,
Now I can look.
Pecans roll. I didn't say you could look.
I'm just confused. I'm trying to like take it all in. It was $847.
Wow.
$847. Why is there a feather on it?
That's not a feather, but there's several of them.
Ew.
Yeah, it is a little.
Oh my God.
Right? Isn't that a little bit interesting?
They're like
why would-
scrapped little bit, like, look at, that's like stuck in the icing.
Yeah. But they didn't do it to the
You
top.
can't do that.
They didn't do it to the top tier, I don't think, though, did they?
Okay. The top tier is the only one that's cake.
Yes.
So I paid $847, and this cake is supposed to feed 30 people for this little thing on top to only be cake. Problems, guys, problems. Okay, let's unpack it. It's topsy-turvy. Let's get that out of the way. I think that when you look at the picture of the inspiration and you look at what I got, is it kind of like a pinkish cake with these other kind of colors on it with flowers in between the tiers and topsy-turvy? Yes. So I'm just noticing all the gold. There is no gold on that photo. I think the gold honestly is helping this cake in this matter. I really don't know what this is that's just like slapped on the side of the cake that's stuck all into the icing. It's not a feather, it's like some sort of like planty thing.
Like a grass thing.
Yeah, it's really bad. And the flowers, they're definitely dollar store flowers. Those are definitely cheap flowers. And then I can see fingerprints, and then through the fingerprints, I can see styrofoam. I mean, they did do it in buttercream, which again is kind of surprising that these guys did buttercream. The other ones did fondant, considering this one was so much more expensive. I would say like the airbrushing looks a bit messy. I'm reading tie-dye right now. Like it's just like hard spots of color. It just feels like they went pss, 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 and they did it in 2 seconds and didn't take any love or care like while they were putting it on. I feel like I'm giving them a really bad review and I'm not really meaning to. It's just, I'm upset a little bit about, I think, the price. This is all that I have that is cake. Everything else isn't cake. Yeah, I think that if you stand back, way back, just gonna, if I stand right, no, not even then. I mean, yes, okay, when I stand way back, I can see what I ordered, but like the colors are so vivid, it's definitely giving birthday, not wedding. They nailed the topsy-turviness. I would say they nailed the square edges. Like if you look at the square edges everywhere, square edges, even on the cake that's not styrofoam, which is again, hard to do. So it was really impressive that they're able to nail that. I think overall, they got the vision, you know, they did kind of do what the picture was giving. Just a 1-star version of it, you know?
All right, so do you agree with the 1-star reviews? Lori, what would you give this cake?
I'm entirely conflicted right now because I feel like the customer service was when I placed the order. I was kind of chasing them and going back and forth between phone and email a million times to try to get this placed. I'm really not impressed by the price and what I got for the price. All in all, maybe a 2.5. I think if I paid $300 for this cake, I'd be like, okay, $300? Maybe like a 4-star. Because I mean, they kind of got what I wanted and I'm not paying too much money for it. But when you charge the high prices for it, then you're expecting more in return. So 2.5. Like you can tell, this is like 10 pounds maybe. Like there's no weight to it, but the weight's all on the top, so it's wanting to swan dive over here. This one feels impossible almost to pick up. Like this is, okay. I've got it up. I don't know if it's showing, but like my arms are shaking. This is so heavy. Wow, are they the same cake? But wow, are they really, really not the same cake? And I cannot believe this was $666 and this was $849. They need to look at their pricing. Okay, this one's flavor is a lemon raspberry. Whoa, that is thick fondant. It came with a 3/4 inch of fondant on it. It should be like half that thickness. I get some of the wrinkling now. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, okay, well, I'm really destroying the cake now. Very bright and vivid. I'm assuming we don't have a lot of natural flavors in this. Now let's keep in mind, don't
Look at that cave.
Don't.
Why wouldn't you go, like, a piece from the sun. Like,
Oh my God, I should have. Why did I do that? Both of them had complaints about their flavors. So let's try this. Oh. Okay. The icing's terrible. Sorry. Let me start again. The icing, I feel like is what's failing them.
let me start again.
It's just like, it's all sugar. It's all shortening. There's no flavor, there's no depth to it. It's just sweet. And it's a lot. Like some people are like, I want the corner slices, I love icing. That's a kind of like fluffy icing like you need a lot of. This is like heavy and just a sugar bomb in your mouth and is taking away from the flavor of the cake. No, cake flavor itself kind of tastes like those box cake flavors, you know, you can see by the color of the raspberry cake, like it's definitely an artificial flavor, but it's good. It's moist, it tastes fresh, but it's definitely not a gourmet cake. What?
Laughing at you, like trying to get enough of your crumbles on from your plate onto your fork from the scraps that you pulled out of it.
I don't want to talk about Kevin. I would say for a cheap cake, I would give that like maybe a 3.5 out of 5. But if you're expecting like an expensive wedding cake, probably a 1.5 or a 2.
In their defense, they didn't know what occasion it was for.
And this one, the little baby cake on the top, we're just gonna cut off a corner of this.
No, I like your technique before. It was a good method.
Okay, let's. So it looks like they iced the cake in just white icing and airbrushed all of the color onto it. So this one is a chocolate cake with a raspberry filling.
Well, we'll see about that.
We'll see. The raspberry flavor is there. It has shown up really strongly and it's really good. This one tastes a lot more gourmet to me. It's light and fluffy. The filling's got a lot of flavor. Cake's a tad dry, but not too bad. It's not an amazing slice of cake, but I'd probably give it, if we're talking an extravagant $850 wedding cake, I'd probably give it a 3. But we're talking like a birthday cake, I'd probably give it like a 4. Much better flavor in this one, but like much better execution and design and better on the price for what I got for it. So that's my review, but you guys let me know what you think of both of these and their price points down below.